Hello, friends and family. It is Rex and Shana.
Hello, glad to be with us here this evening for us.
Thank you for joining. So today, Rex is our instructor in a somatic experiencing, working with our own energy.
Yes, it's an art of shanaboutte. I trained under a wonderful old master named Willem de Tours, and I've built this over the years, but it's through his instruction, and the foundation of this comes from him. And we call him Uncle very affectionately because he's a very amazing and remarkable individual. But basically speaking, simply put, this is the art of moving energy. And yes, it can be used for combat purposes, but it can also be used for healing purposes, which is what we're going to focus on here.
Excellent.
So I'm going to start with just a series of stretches. And for me, I've broken, about 32 bones total in my whole life, including 20 that happened in a single event. I talk in other videos about my near-death experience, having fallen 26 feet and hitting concrete head first. And much of my healing, of course I did my therapy, a lot of hours of therapy, but a lot of that therapy involved these martial arts movements, and also involved stretching and keeping myself loosened up. And one of the keys to somebody who's got as much arthritis as I do, and of course I'm getting older, is just to keep on moving. And as I say, it's all about that movement of energy. It's not just the external stuff, getting the physical, but it's also just nice and soft and just breath work. There's a lot of Tai Chi and Qigong in this art. I'm not going to teach you Tai Chi and Qigong, but it is part of what I'm going to show you. It is in this art of shanaboutte.
And Rex is working with me, helping me regain mobility after going through partial paralysis. And I still have some muscles which are paralyzed and a few which are partially paralyzed. So he's helping me recover, and we're sharing this healing journey with you. Well, we both have had to relearn how to walk and have mobility and a quality of life that we have. And this is one of the things that you used in physical therapy.
It's still used every single day.
And you were teaching this to physical therapists, saying, this is helping me heal.
Yes.
Let me help you.
They showed me a lot, don't get me wrong. I got a lot out of my therapy. I was blessed to have some wonderful therapists, but I also infused this into my therapy as well. So when I showed them what I was doing, basically I was like, can I use that for some of my patients that have similar injuries? And it's like, of course you can, because it is very effective. And yes, I am an instructor in this art, basically considered a guru. There's a name for teacher is silat, that's all it is. That's all it is. So some of my students and some of the people in the Kuntao Silat world refer to me as Guru Rex, but for simplicity's sake, Rex is perfectly fine. And of course, between Shana and I, we were friends for a long time, so I'm just Rex. As far as she's concerned, I'm just Rex. But I just want to give you a little bit of the history that I am a certified instructor in this art and have been for probably about 17 years now, and been in the art for over 20, been training for over 30. So got a little bit of experience here in martial arts, and but again, not just in that combat context, but also in the healing context, because this movement is invaluable, because there's a lot of flexibility, balance, core strength.
Right.
And without further ado, we're going to start and just teaching. But I do this every single day. It's just a basic stretching routine that I do that basically works through just about every muscle in the body.
Yeah. All right,
let's get started.
I'm close for movement. I'm comfortable, and Rex is dressed and comfortable. So here we go.
And feel free to join in. Maybe watch it through one time first, and if you feel comfortable, go ahead and join in with us.
Yes.
If you can commit to doing this every day, especially if you're somebody with a lot of injuries, broken bones, arthritis, torn tissues, whatever, the list goes on. But it will help your body, and your body will thank you. Trust me on this.
It's just so
I don't know where I'd be if I didn't do this every day.
Pain.
My body would just seize up on me. I just know if I didn't do this every day. And still work out, still train. I recommend exercise of all kinds, whether you're a runner, you're into bicycling, even weightlifting, or if you're a basketball player, soccer player, whatever your thing is, do it. But this will help you. If you can learn these basics, this will absolutely help you. So we're going to start with this nice, simple, nice basic thing of just reaching out for your toes. Now, when you stretch, some people will disagree because sometimes people don't want to stretch at the beginning of a workout. I'm a believer in that, but the key to it is this: because your body is cold, it may be stiff, especially if you've been sitting around all day, or maybe been sitting at a desk all day or something like that. You don't want to just power into your stretches. You need to take it nice and easy and really listen to your body. So in other words, as you're reaching down for your toes, just go to the point where you just start to feel a little bit of a tension. Because yes, if you're not careful, you can pull muscles. You can definitely hurt yourself if you're not careful. So take your time, especially if you're not used to stretching, especially if you're not used to working out. Take it nice and slow, and let your body tell you what's enough. And if you can't touch your toes, don't force them. Just go as far as you can and leave it at that. You got to start somewhere, because if you do it every day, it will get better. I don't care if you're older, younger, it works for everyone. It will get better. All right, start with feet together. Just going to touch your toes. Nice and slow, nice and easy. And I tend to like to move around a little bit. Kind of helps add a little bit of this, I guess muscle tension, if you will, as you're getting loosened up to your toes. Especially if you are, like I said, if you're really stiff, take your time, add a little bit of a movement in there, and let the knees go back and forth. When your body feels comfortable, then you can push it maybe a little bit past, but again, be very careful. If you're not, you can pull muscles. We don't want to do that. The idea is to do this for health. We want to loosen up the body, not injure the body. Just relax. You can do a nice breathing rhythm. Let that be natural as well. If you feel like taking a deep breath, take a deep breath. Oftentimes it is suggested to breathe through the mouth, breathe through the nose and out through the mouth. If you're comfortable with that, do that. Experiment with that. If you're not accustomed to breathing, not accustomed to breath work, this is kind of like sort of finding your way. There is no one cookie cutter way to do this. There's no one size fits all. I'm going to do what works for me, and when I recommend it to Shana, and she's being my student while we do this. But again, start to kind of find what is natural for you. You find yourself in a rhythm that involves breathing out both your mouth and nose at the same time, or you want to breathe through your nose alone, or even mix it up a little bit. Maybe for a little while you want to breathe through your nose and out through your mouth, and then as you're starting to stretch and get into it, you're relaxing, you're just finding the breath, which is whatever is coming naturally. So the point is just feel your way through this as I show you what we're doing here. And of course, I'll describe a little bit of that, of what I'm doing along the way as well, to kind of give you some points of reference. Of course, I have like I said, a lot of arthritis, so I like to kind of keep loosening up my joints. As Shana can attest, you may not hear this, but my body is constantly popping and cracking.
I hear it.
But as my orthopedic surgeon tells me, because I see an orthopedic surgeon at least once, not a couple times a year, so I've had a lot of surgeries over these years as well. But he's been constantly surprised that every time I get x-rays done, that my arthritis has not progressed in probably about 7 or 8 years. It's not going away, but it's also not been progressing, largely because I keep doing this every day, and I make sure to keep working out every day. All right, next. Let the feet come out just a little bit, let the past shoulder width. And what you're going to do now is kind of push the hips through. Again, gently, nice and gently. So you can start to feel it through the groin muscles. A little bit of flexion in the stomach, of course. And I kind of like to have my hands against my hips. There's a little bit of a stretch going on across the whole front part of your body. If you want to put your head back, that's fine. Just don't lose your balance. Maybe a nice deep breath in there. And slowly work your way back down towards the floor now. Nice and slow. Add a little bit of movement to the stretch, that's fine. Just be gentle. And while we're down here, move to your left side. Reach for that left ankle, or again, just go as far as you can. So you can only go as far as your knee or something like that, that's perfectly fine. Like I said, you gotta start somewhere, and just, like I said, listen to your body. Don't try to force it. Move to your right. And for the sake of the video, we're going to go through this maybe a little bit quicker than I might normally, but understand, you can literally hold these stretches as long as you like. I mean, sometimes I'll do this routine that will take me an hour plus to do it. And other times, if you don't have a lot of time, you can do it in, say, 5 or 10 minutes if you really want to. Even a 5-minute version of this is better than not doing anything at all. Okay, come back up. Kind of push those hips through again one more time. And move it around a little bit. And when you're ready, we'll go one more out. I can't quite do splits anymore. At the time I could come fairly close, but
Or
That was a long
supposed
time
to do
ago.
splits or just
If you can, that's fine, but don't, again, this is one of those things, one of the last, not that you want to pull any muscles in your body, but it's true, you do not want to pull the groin. The groin takes such a long time to heal. Hamstrings, all those muscles can take such a long time to heal, so be very careful. Yeah, just go with what you're comfortable for now. Push the hips through to start with. You don't want to go down just yet.
Oh. Okay.
The student has become the teacher. Let that breath flow. Get comfortable and relax. It's supposed to feel good. It's not supposed to hurt. It's supposed to feel good. See, right now I'm breathing through both my mouth and my nose because that's what feels comfortable at the moment.
I do a lot of breath work with meditation and with mindfulness-based practices, particularly in a therapeutic setting. So deep breath and exhaling are essential for some of the fundamental work I do, and just being with the present moment and what arises and emotions. And it's interesting when I'm doing breath work, a lot of times the animals respond to that.
Right.
You can hear Radix in the background. He's responding vocally, and Hermione came to sit next to me. She's right here. So they're both having their reaction to the energy in the breath work. It's beautiful.
All right, when you're ready, go ahead and just go straight down. If you're somebody that's been through broken hips, broken pelvis, which I have, I've had my pelvis broken 4 places when I had the fall. This has proven to be one of the most invaluable parts of my stretching routine. And it's done wonders in terms of back pain, believe it or not, because everything in the body's connected. When you're ready, go to the left. Go toward your knee. It's okay if you want to keep hands on the floor, especially if you're just starting to do this for the first time. Eventually, it's nice to be able to get both hands off the floor. Just work on the weight of your body. Okay, go back to the right. Nice and gentle, nice and easy, nice and slow. And when you're ready, I like to come back nice and easy. One time, if you watch videos, see pictures of people that are from the Indonesian islands, the archipelago, sometimes even native people, you see them sit like this. Sometimes in Africa, you see people when they're working, they're in this posture, they're not sitting down, this is the posture that they're in. They're working on whatever they're doing, cooking some food, making a piece of pottery or whatever the case may be. This is a great, great posture. And again, for anybody with especially lower back pain, this is fantastic. Keep the feet flat on the ground. And I can't sit real low, I'm not that flexible, but at the same time I find it's incredibly helpful. It's also good core training. Gets a nice little burn in the legs. Bring it back together and just loosen everything up a little bit.
I didn't understand the value of that until I took a few capoeira classes with Iga, my friend Iga.
Wait, was it capoeira?
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
It's a wonderful Brazilian martial art.
And just the practice of what I learned in class, I was not able to do a lot of movement. When I was in class, people thought I was a stumbling beginner. I was like, no, I have a taekwondo background. They're like, what happened? I'm like, I was paralyzed and I'm still struggling with movement.
Right.
So at the time I was, and just being in that pose is and holding it, but getting down really low, pushing my knees out with my elbows, which is more of a yoga pose.
Sure.
But getting the feet flat
Same
on the floor
purpose.
like that was one of the healing things I did.
Yes.
That
wonderful.
I learned from martial arts dance.
And capoeira it's the thing about that, I don't want to dive too much into it, but it's a beautiful dance martial art that was, the training was often used through the dance, because I understand, there was a slave martial art in Brazil, and of course, slaves are not allowed to do combat style training, so in order for them to do the training they wanted to do with the art that they brought with them from their homeland, they hid it in the form of dance, ceremony, music. At the same time, they were training in real life martial arts, which if you've seen capoeira practitioners, amazing, amazing athletes, and the movements are just beautiful and incredible. And if you ever watch MMA, there's some capoeira people that have come in there with that art and fought with it that have been pretty effective. It's really cool when you see it done right and see it really work. in actual, real situation.
Yeah. And for me, it was just learning to move again, to get muscles to turn on that were completely shut down just from paralysis. So
Go ahead.
I was exhausted in class and I couldn't do the majority of the classes, and I just finally had to step away from it. But what I could do, I practiced consistently, and that's helped me rebuild skills. And as I keep healing and I keep getting more mobility in this healing journey, then I can go back to that and take classes again and get back into martial arts and eventually get back into Taekwondo. So it'll happen. It will. It just takes time.
Some things just take time, but if you have that goal and you work towards it, and you will achieve it. That's the thing. And wonderful thing about martial arts is it's very goal oriented that way. And you don't have to bite it all off at once. You can take it a piece at a time. All right, next stretch here.
Okay.
Before I forget where I'm at.
Yes.
So this is you can do the sitting down, but for like to kind of just practice balance, and keep my balance. Keep the knee up in the air. Grab your ankle, and you want to take the knee and put it down towards the ground.
Oh my God, I'm doing it. This is a really big deal. I haven't been able to do this, so if you know where I am and where I've been, this is huge.
Good posture.
I'm so excited.
Nice. Cross the other leg.
All right.
I'll pick up that other leg, grab the ankle. I find it's just the easiest way to do it. It's all good for the leg, just build that muscle, getting used to trying to lift it as high as you can. And then once you grab the ankle, and once you can't, if you can't grab the ankle, it's fine. Start at the knee if that's where you're at. At some point you want to eventually grab that ankle, and it helps you just kind of point the legs, the knee towards the ground. Just hold it there for a moment.
Puppy. Yeah, and I have to hold on. I'm a little weaker on
Well,
that.
you don't want to fall over. No, the idea is again.
No, I still have the.
Keep safe. Do what you got to do to stay safe.
Yeah.
Don't overdo anything. And if you're feeling more comfortable sitting down with it, you can literally just be here, doing
On the floor.
a similar kind of a stretch. That's perfectly fine too. Similar effect.
I do those stretches almost every day.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go ahead and stretch the
When you're
calves.
sitting down, you just don't have to worry about falling.
Well, that's the idea. If you're not
right.
comfortable with your balance just yet, then do some of these sitting down if you have to. That's perfectly fine. I like to do it standing up because it kind of helps reinforce that balance. Even after years of doing it, I still can get a little off balance once in a while. Part of it's, the brain injury things. Every so often, sometimes the world moves on me, and I don't know, I kind of have a hard time keeping up with it.
Right.
Anyways, next one is you can do it. It gets a counter. You can just do it freestanding. But you want to stretch the calf now. The idea is put your one foot behind you. Make sure you keep it nice and straight. Don't let it turn on you. You won't be able to feel the stretch in your calf. The idea is you want to feel the stretch right through here, up to the back side of what's behind the knee here.
It's really painful because I'm feeling a lot of muscle weakness and paralysis.
Well, again, don't go as far as you can. The idea is you
I
want
need
to
to strengthen it and at least strengthen the supportive muscles around what's.
Well, this will help do that. But the nice thing is it also works all those little muscles in your body that don't oftentimes get worked with normal exercise. And believe me, I have issues all over my body, including my knees. And this is one of the ways I help strengthen my knees, keep them loose. So I can do things like take a nice long jog, take a nice long walk, go out dancing, have a nice training session with my martial arts. So, and I don't have to come out of it with my knees screaming in pain every time. Are you ready? Switch it up. Keep the breath moving. Stay relaxed. Always stay relaxed.
All right. Oh, his puppy sounds.
Of course, Kitty's right over here.
Yeah.
Hanging out with us.
Kittens to the right, puppies to the left.
Oh my.
That's right.
Okay.
Wow.
And this is another nice delicate part of the stretching process here as well.
I need to move that. That on the left side was really challenging.
I don't know if you can see the video so well. I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see my feet. I should have probably taken my shoes off, but it's okay. Whether the shoes are on or off, the idea that I would suggest at least be wearing flats. Now what you're going to do is you're going to just push down on your toes. Flatten your toes to the ground so you can feel the stretch through the arch of your foot.
Okay.
There's something I like to do, and this is just one of those little things that, for people that say they're into Tai Chi, energy movement, is just kind of bringing the hand together and you put it basically over the bladder part. And then what I just do, and it's a real simple little thing, I take the thumb of one hand, put it in the palm of the other, And just put it right up against, like I said, right about the level of the bladder here.
Oh.
And then we're gonna, and of course she's barefoot, so what she can do, and it doesn't matter what foot you start with, she's barefoot, she's gonna take the toes and put them and flatten them the other direction. If you have shoes on, just put your toes to the ground and pull the foot forward so you can feel it in this top part of the foot here, right in the top of the ankle.
And I'm still dealing with some paralysis in different parts of both ankles. So when you see a reaction, it's really genuine. And again, you're hearing Radix have a somatic reaction to my somatic experiencing.
He's such a dramatic puppy.
He is. Hey Radix, you want to come here and help instead of staying over there? Sometimes the energy is really big and he'll stay away from big energy because it's so big that he feels it already. He'll keep a distance, but then he'll have a vocalization and an energy reaction to it, which is pretty incredible that he's such an empath.
Just go to switch sides.
But I mean, here's Hermione just showing up, laying there, being supportive, saying, I'm present for you.
She doesn't always come out, so it's always an honor when she's here.
She's very shy and she's very, very loving. So, I know this. You're right, Radix. That's the weaker ankle right now.
It's very soft, subtle energy, but we're definitely moving some energy. And again, take it easy, stay nice and relaxed, let the breath flow. Maybe just take a big one right now. Just go ahead and just into the nose, out to the mouth, or even just through the mouth and nose at the same time. All right, get on top of the toe. As in your case, Shana, go ahead and push. If you don't hurt yourself, push down on your toes. If you have shoes on, point your toe to the ground and just pull the foot kind of forward so you're feeling it at the top of the ankle, top of the foot.
I know. He's feeling it.
You should come out and teach us. Okay. Now again, get on one foot. Yep, just breathe. Take your time, of course. What you're gonna just do, get the foot off the ground, up off the ground. You're gonna roll it in both directions. Keep your breathing moving. Stay nice and relaxed. Be gentle. Again, if you're having a hard time with balance, go ahead and grab something. You can even do the sitting down if you want to. While it's still up, if you can, don't set it down if you can help it. It's okay if you do. And you're going to go ahead and move it at the knee now. If you want to separate that, you can. You can always just go to the other side and roll the ankle and come back and then roll the knee. But I like to do it together. Again, partly just because just kind of work on that balance. And just one little thing, I guess it's one of those little things. When I'm finished, I like to lift my knee up as high as I can before I set it back down.
All right then.
All right, switch sides. Roll that ankle to start with, both directions, of course.
Part of me wants to hide that, and then part of me is like, nope, that is poor balance from learning how to use these muscles again.
It'll all come.
I will be honest and not lie and not hide with the actual experiences.
Oh, same, both of us. I mean, yeah. I have my limitations. I mean, just because I've done this for years. I mean, with all my injuries, especially that fall I incurred 11 years ago, I mean, I'm definitely not anywhere near where I was, beforehand. But I've come a long ways, and it's just proof that do the work and the results will come. You just sometimes need to be patient, but it'll all happen.
I had really good balance before this.
You will again. Beautiful thing is the human body always responds to exercise, no matter what kind of condition you're in, no matter how long it's been since you've last worked out, or if you've never worked out, your body will respond to exercise. Everyone's body does. Of course, hold it.
You heard that.
Yep, good crack.
Whew.
And lift it up as high as you can. Hold it for a second and bring it back down. Really good for the hip muscles. Again, for somebody who's been the injuries through my pelvis. This has just been incredibly helpful. And I do get a lot of hip pain, and this really helps to alleviate the pain, believe it or not. All right, next. We're gonna take the hands, put them up over the head. Nice breath, feet together. And what we're gonna do now is just lean backwards. Gently, you don't wanna hurt your back. If you have a sore back or something, be gentle with this. You wanna feel the stretch through your abdomen, especially from the lower part of the abdomen all the way up. It's one of the few stretches, a few exercises that will work the entire abdomen. A lot of times, sit-ups and things like that only work part of the abdomen. This, on the other hand, will work the lower abs as well as the upper abs. And kind of loosen you at the same time. The key here is don't lock up your breath. It's easy to want to go back and just go, but you don't want to do that. Just keep breathing, keep the breath flowing. That way you're using your muscles and not your breath to hold you up, as it were. And I like to kind of go side to side a little bit so you can feel the stretch on both sides of the abs.
Oh, Ronix. He's feeling it.
And then take your hands, raise them up over your head. And ideally, I say, Shana, go ahead and put your hands back on your head again. So take it from here and just go straight up. And what we're going to do now is slowly move your hands down the front of your body. Pull your shoulder blades apart
Are the
gently.
palms out or in?
Well, I tend to do it now.
Palms facing outward?
I like the palms facing out.
Okay,
You can hold it like
that's
this
how
if you
I
want.
have
I'm still holding my hands this way. I like this grip better, but you can do whatever's comfortable for you. But the idea is, as you do this, pull your shoulder blades apart. And move your hands slowly all the way down to your hips. And when you get to this point, you're going to roll the shoulders back and forth as many times as you want. You can do it 5 times, 10 times, but just do about the same number of times in both directions. And I say keep your hands together as well as much as you can. Okay, we're going to go to the next part of the stretch. Now, this is a little bit tricky. Now we're going to start what we did just a moment ago. Put the hands over the head, work through the abs again, same idea. But what's going on right now is I've taken my feet, and Shana, if you would, take your left foot and make a 90-degree angle from your right foot. Put your heel to next to your toe, make a 90-degree angle. There you go, just like that. All right. Now, let's do the ab workout. Going side to side. Now you want if you've got your left knee bent and turned, this is okay if this one's bent. That's fine. But keep to the one that's straight. And in my case, the right leg, keep it straight. I don't know if that made sense, but so left leg can be bent right now, but the right leg straight. Stretch those abs again one more time.
Oh, I had them both straight. You want one bent.
Yes.
Okay.
It's more effective that way. And you'll see why in a moment. And now take the hands up over the head. Slowly pull them down in front of you. And again, pull the shoulder blades apart. When stretching your upper back right now. This is kind of a multi-purpose stretch right here. Roll the shoulders in both directions. Okay, this is a little bit tricky, but if you can get the stretch down and get it right, this is probably the best single stretch you could basically do. All the times when you're in the middle of your day, you don't have time to do much stretching, you might just reach down, touch your toes real quick. If you do that, that's fine. I recommend it, but do this too. But it might take a little time to practice it and get it right so you can feel it the way you really need to feel it. So what we're going to do is this. Get your feet back where they were. All right, reach down like you're going to be touching your toes, but you're going to touch the one that's turned. It's okay if that leg your left leg can bend, that's okay. Want your back leg to be straight.
Muscle hates this.
Yeah, don't go too far, don't push it, be careful.
No, it was just getting down. There's like some weakness that I have to go through to get
Okay, well, only go just a little bit down then.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen
I've got it now. My body just had to figure out what it was doing.
Now, but there's one more step to this. There's one more part, this is the most important part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my shoulders, since my left leg is turned, I'm turning to my left. And what I'm going to do, after I've reached as far as I can in this direction, going down, I'm going to turn my head, turn my shoulders, and I'm going to try to look up to the ceiling. So if you're doing the stretch correctly, what's going to happen, you'll literally feel this, literally all the way down to your ankles, the entirety of your whole leg, through the glutes, all the way up the side of your back, your shoulders, into your neck. The entire side of your body should be feeling this. This is a stretch that might take a little time to practice to get it right. No, other way, Shana, to your left.
Wait,
left.
but I had this foot straight, the other one out.
Your left, the foot that's turned is your left foot, so you want to turn left. Face
turn
me.
left. Okay.
Yes, face me. That's it.
That doesn't feel natural.
Because you've never done it before. If you're good, relatively straight, good. So yeah, the idea is this. Here, you're going to turn this way. So if you do it, you should be feeling the tension, the stretch through your entire side of your entire body, all the way up the length of your body, from your ankle to the back of your neck.
Okay.
It might take some practice to get that dynamic just right. So I say be careful, don't injure yourself.
No, it's just a muscle is, I'm starting to feel parts of a muscle I haven't felt in 8 years.
Wonderful. This is the beautiful thing about this exercise.
It is. It's
works
turning
everything.
on, and it also is really
everything.
painful when it turns on. So
He does. This is beautiful. And this works every muscle in your body, even the little groups that don't get attention. Even if you're somebody that exercises a lot, some of these muscles don't get a lot of attention unless you do something that's this kind of, I guess, detailed and I guess articulate in terms of how that works your muscles. All right, other side.
You don't realize what you're not feeling until you feel it for the first time.
Good point. See, that's a good point.
Man.
So all right, other side.
And it's a lot to take in. It's an emotional experience because.
So left foot straight, and your right foot is not going to be 90 degrees. Yes, exactly, just like that. Perfect.
I had the other one out like that, and this one was.
No, I was watching. You had it.
It
right.
was okay. It looked backwards to me, but.
Okay, it's okay. It's all new.
I'm trusting you. He's the guy.
This is the second time we've gone through this routine. The
I
first time we
haven't
did it, we only went
actually
through
done
part
this
of it
stretch.
yet.
We didn't
No,
even do this.
your parents were here last time, so and I didn't
Yeah,
want
we
to
didn't do
have them
this,
do this
yeah.
one. I didn't think this would be a good stretch for your
That's not
parents.
good for them.
So anyways, no, we're doing some stretches she's never done before. We did do this routine last week, but we did not do some of these
No.
stretches. So some of these are brand new to
This
her.
is a new stretch.
This
for
is
me.
just, we've been friends for years and years. But this is
Yes.
the second time she's worked out with me. So some of this is brand new to her. And of course, we're going to be doing this
I'm
every week from here
grateful.
on out.
Like this is exciting.
Wonderful. No, I'm glad you're doing this with me. I'm grateful to
I
get
know
to
I
share
can
this.
trust you.
Thank you. So, all right, same thing we just did. We're going to stretch the abs again. Hands over the head. Keep the breath flowing. Don't lock up don't lock up the breath. A little bit of the side to side here. And when you're ready, we're going to put the hands back over your head.
Okay.
Same thing. Pull those shoulder blades apart. Nice and slow all the way down to your hips with the hands.
All right.
And roll them. Roll those shoulders. And again, if you have upper back issues, this is incredible for the upper back. You
I
notice what
definitely do.
and neck issues too. We're going to get to all of that.
So yeah, 2 weeks ago I got, 2 or 3 weeks ago I got movement, lateral movement, horizontal movement in my trapezius muscles
Okay.
that I hadn't had, and the lats also. So they would go up and down. They had vertical movement, but not horizontal.
Right.
That was the first sign of paralysis I had in my body.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, that started more than 10 years ago when I was having symptoms of the illness, not knowing that I had any illness whatsoever, not to mention everything at once. I know Radix, it does hurt.
All right, back down to the ankle.
Stress.
Keep it, now in this case, you got the right leg turned, so keep the left leg straight. Good. Nice and gentle. Easy does it. Nice and gentle. When you get here, now you're going to turn to your right. Look to your right. Go as far as you can. Turn your shoulders, turn your head, turn your neck. Try to look up to the ceiling. And again, ideally, if you're doing it right, and again, it might take some practice doing it a few times so you can really feel it just right, get all the little details just in place. So you'll literally feel the stretch from your ankle, the entire side of your body, all the way up to the back of your neck. First, when you're ready, come back up. Pop those joints again, and just keep doing that. Nice breath. And here's another balance one. You can sit down and do this next one if you want to. But basically all we're going to do is we're going to pick up this leg, grab at the ankle, underneath the ankle, and just lift it up. And slide it back a little bit. Some people can put their legs all the way over their heads. I definitely can't do
but
that.
not knee stands.
Yeah.
I have movement, but not, these aren't yoga pants.
That's okay. And then when you're ready, we'll set it down and do the other side. My pants are kind of restricting me just a little bit.
And I do this stretch almost every day.
This is a
but
great
I usually
stretch.
do it sitting, where I can almost, before the illness, I could bring my legs behind my head, but you know, not. Now it takes one leg at a time. I can do it. So it's good to get that much movement back.
Right.
But again, those aren't the paralyzed muscles, so.
And again, now we're going to move to the upper gate. And the Kuntasyalat, the lower gate is everything below the waist, upper gate is everything that's above the waist. So like I said, we're going to work everything here. Everything's going to get at least a little bit of love and attention. So if you can just start with the hands like so, kind of like basically like everybody cracks their knuckles. Just do that to start with. Just get the fingers, flip the fingers together like so. Just kind of like you're cracking your knuckles. And I like to kind of slide back and forth, so I'm also feeling a stretch in the bottom parts of my forearms here.
Yes.
So if you sit and work on a computer all day, This series of stretches is fantastic to do. Even if you're just sitting down at your desk, this next set of stretches right here, this series is really fantastic for that. All right, Shana, get your hands back together. You all right?
Yeah, I just needed to stretch.
All right, take a moment, that's fine.
Movement and breath. Oh.
Take a moment then, no rush.
No, it's okay. I'm just feeling some pain where there's not a lot of movement, and it's okay.
That's why I always say, it's also making sure you take it nice and easy. That's why I always say, gentle, listen to your body. I don't want anybody injured from this.
Yeah.
Because you can definitely hurt yourself. And this is one of the reasons why naysayers of stretching are naysayers about it, because if you're not careful, you can definitely hurt yourself. You can definitely pull muscles.
Right.
And that's exactly what we're not wanting. We want this to feel good. We want your body to feel nice and loose when we're finished.
And there's a little kitten right there watching us.
Absolutely.
Little face. I think she's on camera. It's pretty cute.
So whenever you're ready, hands back together. We're just going to roll them both directions. Nice circles right here. You can really feel it at the wrist. Your forearms. You can feel all those tendons and everything going through the whole arm right here when you do this.
I really feel it through the shoulder blades, which is
it's all connected.
It is.
All these tendons go all the way up here, all the way to the back of your neck, the base of your skull. I'm not an anatomy expert by any means, but just understanding the basics of it and how things are connected and how they work, and that they all work together.
Right. And you and I both have neck injuries. We understand.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, now we're going to switch this around and go backwards with it. So throw the fingers this way, but also bend them back through the fingers again. There you go, just like that.
Okay.
Turn the hand over this way and slowly bring it down. For some people, especially if you have arthritis or you've had injuries in your hands or your wrists, be careful.
So try to make the elbows touch.
You want to bring them, that's fine, but it's more important that you can kind of get closer with the wrist. This is fine, but I'm more interested in the tension right through this part of the hand. Because you should feel it all the way up to the back of your neck through your whole arm, but the idea right here is mostly through the hands, loosening up the carpals, and loosening up everything through the wrist. And then you get here, now go ahead and roll. So make sure you got this going on here. And just roll it. Both directions, of course, always in both directions. And if you want to count it out, you're welcome to. I'm not that formal. If you want to do 10 in one direction and 10 in the other direction, that's perfectly fine. I just like to say, just do about the same amount in both directions. And mostly, I like to just do what I feel in the moment. Right. As I say, you can take these stretches and do them as long as you want. This whole routine can last an hour, a couple of hours if you want it to, or you can just go through it real quick and have it be a 5 or 10 minute session. So, it's up to you based on the time you have and what you're feeling in the moment.
Right.
All right, now we're going to do sort of a disco dance move, an old school disco dance move, but we're not going to do this whole thing like this. What I want you to do is not move the whole arm, just move at the wrist. Get your elbows out. Get those elbows out. Shana, elbows out. There you go.
They're not out.
No, you were kind of down for a second, so get nice and out like you're kind of flying away with them.
Okay.
So just really good, rolling up. There you go. Roll at the wrist. Just roll at the wrist. Don't roll the whole arm. Just roll at the wrist.
This is not disco.
Well, that's disco.
Can we do some of that?
Yeah, I'm not very good at that. I love dancing, but my disco dancing is not the best. I do love some disco music. I'll definitely go do some dancing for it, but I probably look kind of goofy, but it's all right. I still have fun. All right, so let's roll a few more times. Now what we're going to do is put the hands in front of you. Again, keep your arms nice and out to the side. Arms parallel to the ground.
Like I'm doing a robot.
Yeah, it was like doing a bad form of a robot. Now again, at the wrist, with the hands open, go ahead and roll them in both directions. Keep the breath moving, stay nice and relaxed. If you've not done this before, you might be surprised by now that there really is a bit of a workout to this. I mean, it is just stretching, but there is a workout to this.
You're definitely using heat and energy and chi and ki and breath and
That's what she
all
said,
of it.
all that.
All of it.
Now let's modify the movement. We're going to do figure eights. Keep your arms where they are. I want to do figure eights. And we're going to do figure eights in both. One direction is usually the easy direction. And when you go backwards, that's a little bit more challenging.
Yes. So really feel it through my back and the areas where I have a lot of chronic pain and tension. So,
And if you need to set your arm, set them down for a moment. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, feeling it in places that tend to hurt a lot, particularly with migraines.
This hopefully will loosen it up to help with the
It will.
migraines too.
I had to get to the hard part to get to the good part.
Now, this is kind of goofy, just kind of like the hands nice and loose. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
But nice and loose, just nice and loose for the whole arm, just shake it loose.
It feels good to just shake that out.
And just
Shake
like you
it,
drop
let
the
it
hands,
go.
just maybe some hard, brisk breaths to release.
Yes!
All right,
You know
buddy.
it! He's been feeling, this is Radix. Come here. No?
All right.
He's been feeling everything that we've been feeling and going through.
You got excited with those breaths.
Come
Okay.
here. Want to see? No? He wants to know
Alright.
that we're not hurting.
Anyway. So get the arm back out where it was. Get this, so
Okay.
that the lower part of the arm is parallel to the ground.
Okay.
You're going to roll at the elbow. Don't move the arm. You just roll at the elbow alone. Yes, roll at the elbow. Do that in both directions. Because I have a very surgically repaired left elbow, and I probably can't hear it on the camera, but it's crunching, and popping, and making all kinds of noises. A lot of my students, when they hear it for the first time, are like a little bit disconcerted by it. You know,
It's a miracle that you can use that elbow
It
at all.
is. This thing's been, I mean, don't get me wrong, the doctor that put it back together did a phenomenal job. It wasn't even supposed to be moving at all, let alone be able to do any working out, push-ups, pull-ups, or any of that kind of stuff. And it doesn't, it's not, if you ever were to see it, you probably couldn't tell, but if I pulled my sleeve up, you were just like, wow, it does not look like a normal elbow, it does not look like a normal joint, but it works, and I've got most of my mobility back, and I, like I said, I can train and exercise and go dancing and things like that, so I'm very grateful. So anyway, get back out here for one more second. I just did these, now roll to wrist. Just do it with the wrist. Same thing with the wrist. Buddy.
You want to do it with us?
You should, come on, be good for you too.
Let's get a puppy. Yeah?
Oh, he's gonna be all goofy. Alright, other side, other side.
He's being a puppy.
Same thing.
I love it when he wants to make an appearance on camera. It makes me so happy.
He always does.
He very often, he's kind of like, I'm just going to make noise and feel what you're feeling. And your energy's so big, you just can't touch me in this moment. I'll just show up.
Remember,
and
roll
then
with the
sometimes
elbow.
he says, well,
Keep the arm steady and roll with the elbow.
yep. And at other times he says, no, I am just going to be right off camera and make some noise and let you know I feel what you feel.
And while it's still out there, go ahead and roll at the wrist. Do it at the wrist. Both directions. Keep your arm straight, Shana. Just do that, yeah.
I have belly dance in my background. Everything is like a semi-bent arm, and you have to lead with the middle finger.
It's
and
a little different. I love belly
it
dance.
is,
You
but
know,
it's like I'm accustomed to this kind of motion rather
and
than,
it's all, again,
you know,
it's all
this,
viable. It's all completely viable,
Yeah.
but we're just doing basic martial arts stretching right now. It's not that pretty. Not as pretty as a belly dancing.
No, it's different. It's a different feeling.
A little bit of a different intention, but at the same time, it serves the same purpose. Because I mean, again, those movements are fantastic movements. If you have joint issues, arthritis, again, broken bone injuries, any of that stuff, that is really fantastic movement for the body.
And he's feeling this.
We're almost finished with this. We're getting closer to the end here.
We're fine.
Okay, this one is a great stretch again. If you have to work on a keyboard all day on a computer, this is another really great stretch. So,
may I serve you a drink, sir?
let your
Oh,
hand that
this way.
Yes.
I can't serve you a drink this way very well.
It might be hard
It's
to
my
balance a tray
invisible
this way.
tray of drinks, and I would love to bring you something to quench your thirst.
I've got some tea somewhere here, but
We do have tea.
Anyway.
Lots of hot. We always have hot tea.
So take the hand, reach around the back of your arm, and you can grab onto your thumb.
I love this one. Did I do it backwards again?
It's okay, everyone does, it's okay. I mean, you don't want to go this way with it, you want to go this way with it so the ridge of the edge of your hand is facing out, and your thumb is facing you. The right
I'll
hand.
come close so you can see how the arms are.
Yes.
This.
Yes, like that.
This.
Do you want to model for us? Anyway.
I'm trying to model for you, but I want to show you up close how the arms actually are. So my left arm is closer to me, right arm is out, and then with the right arm I'm pulling the thumb.
And then from there, once you get that right, go ahead and start going through each digit, each finger. Same grip. Just go through each finger one at a time. Yep, keep the breathing going. Nice breath there, Shana.
Yes. And do you notice the breath was a different kind of breath?
That's the idea. If that's what I'm saying. If you feel
It
a
was
different
that
thing,
loud and noticeable?
it feels different, then you gotta let it out. I mean, don't, especially with the breath where you can't hold that in. Once you go through all 5 digits, take the hand, And press down on all 5 edges, including the thumb. Don't forget the thumb. Make sure the thumb gets covered too. And just stretch, pull, push down on the whole hand. So you're feeling a stretch on the inside of your forearm here.
I'm gonna check and see if Puppy's okay. He must be feeling something.
And then pull it straight back. Close the hand back and then gently press down on that.
Okay, let me
feel the
check
stretch
on
on the
him.
backside.
Is he feeling something or is he?
He's just standing there.
He's
talking to us.
he's feeling energy. He
He's
has no
emoting.
need. He is.
All right, switch it up. Other side. Same idea.
Okay.
Reach around the back of the hand. So your thumb.
And
Yep.
this one and then this.
Exactly, just like that. Start with the thumb, then go through each digit one at a time.
So right hand is closest to the body. Left hand's behind it, pulling the thumb.
Yes. Then go to each finger, nice and gentle. Take it easy, nice and gentle, nice and relaxed. If you're feeling that big deep breath, let it out. If you're martial artists out there, I actually have my knees slightly bent, the hips forward, but that's okay if you're not. This is technically not necessarily, doesn't have to be a martial arts class, as much as just getting you nice and loosened up. But for me personally, I find that just the martial arts posture, what's called a high horse stance, is really good for the body, really good for the body structure.
No? You want to do this with us? I don't know if you can see him, he's jumping. It's cute. Frenchies have this little thing they do where they do this little 4-legged jump at the same time. And he's doing this 4-legged jump and then he's doing the back to the front jump. And it's just, it's layers of cuteness. He's feeling energy. I did this one. I promise.
You gotta follow the teacher and get your thumb. Get your thumb too.
I got the thumb earlier. Then I offered to pick him up. Then he's like, your energy's so big, I don't know if I could do it.
Let's be careful, don't get ahead of me. And then pull it back.
I didn't do that part. See, I didn't get ahead of you. I stated the other part too long. Oh, puppy.
All right.
Come here. Come sit. Sit. Wait. Wait. Wait.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go.
Gotcha, buddy.
Got him.
Gotcha, buddy. Gotcha, buddy.
He's feeling so much energy. He's know that everything is okay. So this is Radix.
You're a good boy. You are doing good.
He's so good.
You're doing good, buddy.
He's really good. I promise. Yes, but now he's breathing with us and
He is.
snorting and releasing, and he's felt a lot. He's experienced a lot, and you know that's how our animals are. They show us. They're mirrors for us.
Members of the family, and we're all connected. They
Very
empathize
much
with us
so.
as we empathize with them.
Yeah, when we hurt, when our bodies are doing something, they're having a reaction, and I've been hurting a lot, but enjoying every second of it. He felt that, so he's been reacting, which is what we've been naming, and I think that's real life. Like that's what shows up.
It is.
It is, and we do that even in people who do group therapy. People sitting in a group, you have one person who's the exact mirror for the situation, the person who's the opposite of that, the person who's the firefighter, the person who's the rescuer. Like they all show up, they all have their roles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you always have this triangulation. You have the devil's advocate. Then you have the opposite of what the mirror
The whole
is.
protagonist, antagonist thing right now.
Well, not even
I
that,
think
but I
I'm
mean, you
just joking.
actually
I'm
have that,
joking.
but you actually have the opposite of what the mirror is.
Sure.
So everybody plays out the situation in their own way. You don't try to make it up. It just always shows up. Our animals do that for us, and he's no exception. So now he's yawning, his tummy's growling, and he's got a lot of stuff going on, which is his parasympathetic nervous system settling and resting, knowing that I'm okay and that we're both okay.
Yeah.
And he feels. So, you know, our bodies do the same things when we're experiencing and we get to that place of calm and stillness, then our parasympathetic nervous system reacts the exact same way. Our tummies growl, we yawn more, we have these, you know, reactions that we look for in therapy. We look for that as the person doing the work, guiding the session.
Sure.
And when we say this is progress, this is your ANS and PNS working together. So your autonomic nervous system, your parasympathetic nervous system working together in alignment, you're finally regulating.
Yes, balance.
And when we're doing trauma work specifically or anything with pain, related to any form of like physical trauma, medical trauma, anything like that, our bodies react that way.
You hear about it in Taoism, it's yin and yang, it's the
Yes.
balance of the internal with the external.
Right. And they have to be in alignment. If things are offset, then nothing's functioning as a whole. So,
That's true.
And
Just take one little thing to go off to just throw everything else off.
you know, we also look at something as parts work, right? So in therapy, a lot of times we talk about parts work, and the theory is that the parts are greater than the whole. What does that mean? It means that all the parts of us are greater than the whole person. So we have to address all parts of the entire being. And that's how we are with animals and people, and why I do different types of healing. Reiki's a big part of it.
It is a big
energy
part.
work, trauma-informed yoga,
You
whatever it might
did some
be.
Reiki energy work on me a couple of weeks ago, and it was
Absolutely.
freaking amazing.
Aw, thank you.
There's somebody that knows how to do it and really knows how to move the energy. It really does work.
Yeah.
Did you want to do some more of this? Finish more?
Well, let's do
Almost
some more.
everything?
Radix, you want to do some more with us now that you've got me covered in pepper? I am so covered in fur now.
It's okay. It's worth
It
it.
is.
It's good.
It's
worthwhile.
all love, and this is real. This all it is.
So, so all right. So we just finished this up. So let's go. We're going to stretch this part of the arm. We're almost finished. We're almost to the end of this routine. Just a few more things to do. But again, I told you it was going to be full body, covering pretty much every muscle in the body. So we want to make sure to get everything. So if you're feeling up to getting through
I
the muscle,
am.
a few
You know,
pieces,
it's just
you doing
it's
okay?
interesting, like having parts of the body work again that haven't. There are these emotional responses to that.
It is. It's everything.
It is
It's
everything.
not just the
There's
physical
a
body. It's
spiritual
the emotion,
response.
the spirituality, the
mean,
mental.
Yeah, I mean, there were times I was like, I'm feeling a muscle I haven't felt, and I just want to start crying in that moment, and kind of did in some ways. Like,
Well, the neat thing is when
there
I
was
do this with a
pressure
lot of my
behind the eyes,
students.
the lump in the throat.
Oh,
But it was like the spiritual response and the physical response and the physical pain, but the progress and the looking at this healing journey and where I've been and where I am, from saying you have 5 weeks to live to like being able to do this.
right. That's huge.
Yeah. There aren't words for this.
And you know, in addition to what you're saying, and complement to what you're saying, and one of the things when I work with my students, oftentimes we'll have an hour and a half, 2 hour session. We do a lot of different things once we get through the stretching part, but we often use this part of it, especially once the student knows how to do it with me, it becomes just an automatic thing. We go through it together. We end up using this time to talk. They share things that are going on in their life, and of course, we talk all the time anyways. We've been friends a long time, but it's interesting. And my students will oftentimes say that their favorite part of the class is sometimes the opportunity to sit down and just talk about something that's going on in their life, maybe something going on in a relationship, or maybe some big decision that they're making, or just maybe thoughts they're having about spirituality, some ideas, some insights that they want to just explore, so they know they can explore with me because I'm open to talking about anything. So when we do this, it's typically one-on-one sessions, and it's a safe space to just open up and just let whatever's inside of you out. Right. So we do this while we're stretching, so it becomes a very yin and yang kind of an experience. It's all right.
This is the importance of movement, particularly when we're working with trauma.
Absolutely.
Because our bodies hold things even when our mind doesn't hold the memory.
You
our
don't need
body
to, but it
does.
does. It can seriously happen until
Right.
it gets tapped into and comes out. All of a sudden, like I say, you don't even realize that they're just doing a stretch, and all of a sudden I want to cry right now because it's tapping into something, not just physically, but internally as well.
And I've done that multiple times just in this working, where there was the lump in the throat, the pressure behind the eyes, the deep breathing, not, wanting to not cry, feeling like,
Well, the idea, and I know maybe we don't want to cry in video right now, but as we do this, of
Well,
course,
if I
if
do,
you
I
feel the need to
do.
cry, that's what I'm saying. If you need to let it out, let it out. So I don't always want to cry in front of people, but I will cry. I mean, if I'm in the middle of something like this, I will definitely let it out myself. But I don't know, maybe it's just being a guy, but I'm kind of funny about crying in front of people. But not that Shana hasn't seen me cry, and I haven't seen her cry, but I don't know. It's
oh,
a video.
come on, we've seen each
No,
other.
you have seen me cry. You have, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, let me explain this real quick before you wonder why we're just standing here with our hand behind our head. So basically what's going on right now is you can do this a couple different ways, but this is a real simple way. You take the hand, grab the back of the top part at the back of your head. You kind of lean the head backwards, so you're starting to feel the stretch literally from the elbow down the back of your arm, right into the top of the, I guess, the latissimus dorsi right here. You just feel this nice stretch right through this whole part of the arm. Don't let the arm go out. Keep it close to the side of your head here. And just kind of pull back gently. And when you're ready, we'll switch it up, go to the other side. I think we got that left side pretty good.
Yes, I think so.
Nice and relaxed. You even feel it in the top of the shoulder. Up here, I think it's with the deltoids up here. Yep, nice breath, good breath.
Oh, he's feeling it. Again, this is another migraine pathway I'm feeling.
Absolutely.
Oh.
This is great for the tension. And again, the whole body's connected. You can literally stretch things in your upper body from your lower body and heal in that context. I've had Uncle literally, having a pain literally up in my shoulder, up in my neck, go down and work on my knee down here, just touch a spot down here and then release it just the way he does it, just that certain energy and intention behind it, and all of a sudden everything just loosens up. It's like, how did he do it from down here all the way up here? Because it is all connected. And all these pathways, they all intersect throughout the whole body, as well as we do energetically with each other. So, all right, next one. Take the arm, kind of like we did earlier, only this time we're gonna grab one arm, grab your wrist. What you're gonna kind of do is you're gonna pull out on the wrist, but do it up over your head. So what you're gonna do is you got tension on the wrist, you kind of keep pulling on it, and pull it down in front of your body. So you're feeling the stretch through this whole section right through here. And slowly bring it all the way down. Good. Other side. Pull up on it. As you're doing this, pull out. Keep a little tension on it. Be gentle with yourself. Just be careful. There's another very good one for the shoulders. I have a student that affectionately refers to this as chicken wings. What you're going to do is put the hands to the back of your hips right here. Then you want to try to pull your elbows forward. Some people are so flexible they can practically touch their elbows together. I've definitely never been able to do that. But you want to pull your shoulders forward. Again, open up your shoulder blades and your back, your upper back. Just pull this forward. So you're feeling a nice stretch through this entire upper part of your arms and the entire shoulder. Of course, through this upper back as you're pulling the shoulder blades apart. Stay nice and relaxed. Keep the breath moving. Now we're going to reverse it. Now you want to go one direction, you want to make sure you go the other direction as well. So again, hands against the hips. Now we're going to pull, kind of like you're trying to pull your elbows together to your back. Right? And you're going to feel, again, the same bunch of muscle groups, but more focus on the front, including the pecs right up here, right through your chest. And gentle. Don't do it too hard.
I know, Radix.
And this next stretch is a very, very important one. It's one of those odd ones you maybe have not seen before, but as somebody who's had both elbow and shoulder surgeries, this was huge in my therapy. And again, I had a wonderful therapist, I had a lot of great exercises, a few of which have been integrated into what we're doing today. But what we're going to do is take your hand like you're trying to scratch your back. But the key here is, like you're scratching your back, you got to turn the hand around to scratch your back, right? So you can get your nails into your back. That's what you want to do. And don't worry about how high you can go. If you can only go this high, don't worry about it. I've been doing this for a long time, and again, I've managed to get my shoulders to loosen up enough where I can go at least up to my shoulder blades. But again, try to keep the palm of your hand facing your back, so you're not this way. Keep the palm facing your back as much as you can. Just go as high as possible without pushing it. Don't hurt yourself. Of course, do the other side when you're ready. When I was about 19 years old, I had an accident on the job where I was working in a landscaping company on a golf course, and I actually, again, fell into a hole. First, had a couple bad falls. I actually dislocated my right shoulder pretty bad. So even though it happened when I was 19 years old, this shoulder, surprisingly, if I didn't get therapy on it all those years ago, is actually stiffer than my left shoulder, which was way more damaged when I fell 11 years ago, 26 feet. The hole I fell into was probably about 7-8 feet deep. It was still a good fall, but nonetheless, not anywhere. Plus, I fell on dirt as opposed to falling on concrete, so a big difference. But nonetheless, I went down and caught my arm at the top of the hole as I was going down, trying to break the fall, and pop, the joint went down, landed on my rib cage here. I guess it wasn't a full dislocation, because what I was able to do is, and that sounds kind of creepy, and it was at the time, put my hand up under the joint, and I pushed the ball joint up my rib cage, pushed down up here, and eventually it popped back in. But I'll tell you what, that was some incredible, crazy pain. And so surprisingly, even though the shoulder was not nearly as damaged as this one, this shoulder had therapy on it, had a lot of work on it. So I'm actually better on my left side than I'm on my right side. It just goes to show you the difference of what therapy can do for you. So if you're going through something, whatever your therapist tells you, do it. Not just when you go to the therapist, but do the homework they give you every single day. Yeah. If you really want to get something out of that surgery or whatever you just had to go through to have that therapy, the therapy will make all the difference in the world. The reason I can move this elbow, considering what I've been through with it is because I worked really, really hard to get it to move after the surgery.
Right.
Well, I had 2 surgeries on it, and I may end up having a 3rd, but right now we've been able to avoid that.
And it's because of these exercises
It
that
is.
he's been able to avoid the surgery.
And we're almost there. So what we're gonna do is now, just a few more, I promise, just a few more. We're almost there.
Okay.
Are you getting tired? Do you want to stop?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So we're gonna take the arms, we're gonna raise them up, bend over forwards, raise them as high above the back of your head as you can. I wasn't kidding when I told you this is very intensive, and this is definitely all over the body. There's really a lot of steps to this, but if you can remember this, and one of the reasons we're getting it on video, so if you want to work on this and you want to integrate this into your daily routine, I'm telling you, your body will thank you, especially if you're somebody who, like me and Shana, have a lot of injuries and have a lot of things that we're having to work through. It's keeping our bodies so we can be fit, be able to move, and go out and do the things we love to do. One of the things Shana and I both enjoy doing is going out and hitting a club and going to do some dancing.
Yeah.
You can't go dancing if your body doesn't work very well. If everything's hurting, it's kind of hard to get up and enjoy the music and enjoy what's going on and socialize with your friends and have a good time on the dance floor.
We have to be able to do this. We have to heal, right, Radix? Yes.
This is one here. We're going to swing our arms nice and high. We didn't do this last time.
Okay.
Nice and you don't have to go real fast. You can do this one at a time if you want to, but for the sake of kind of saving on time a little bit, we'll do them together. There are advantages to doing it both. Doing one at a time or doing it both together. Of course, go in both directions. And yes, I do this every single day. I really do. And when I train with my students, this is something we start class with every single time we do a class. And I'll tell you, once my students learn this routine, they stick with it, they love it, they believe in it. So take your arms, go in front of your body, same thing, the biggest wax on, wax off you've ever done. Okay, we're working these shoulders. And again, with me, I've got damage and arthritis in both shoulders, and this is just immensely helpful. And go back to the outside again. Of course, if you cross your hands in front of your face, go and move them back and forth. So your left arm is in front of your body one time, then your right arm is in front of your body one time. And this one is also really huge. This next one I want to show you, for anybody, again, going through elbow, wrist, shoulder, anything like that. This is immensely helpful in terms of your therapy and your healing.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is this. We're literally almost to the end, Shane. We've got the neck to do, and we've got the torso. So after we do this, it's the neck and torso, and we're done. See, and this is just a stretch. This is just a stretch. We haven't gotten into the workout yet. But I know this is a stretch and it is a workout. Everybody that does this, especially the first couple times, are like, wow, this really does work you out. It's incredibly isometric, and your muscles will burn doing this. But again, the idea is you're loosening yourself up, working on that balance, that flexibility, that core strength, all of that working together. And plus you're heating everything in your body up, everything's warmed up, detoxifies you, oxygenates the muscles, all that.
It does. And my pants are more loose now than when we started this. A lot more loose.
Because I know we've been doing this out loud, and I know there's a lot to it, but trust me, I'm telling you, trust me, we get this.
No, I'm losing inches while we're doing this. It's insane.
I'm into the folks that are going to be watching this as well.
Fit when you got here, and they don't fit now.
Oh, hilarious. Okay, what we're going to do, this is one of those things where have the backs of your hands facing each other. And you're going to bring this towards your head, and you can just flip it around. Okay, nice and tight to your body. Keep the backs of your hands facing each other, go straight back out again. Flip it back around like you started, towards the head, closest to the head as you can, straight line in, flip it around, nice and close to the body, straight line out. Just make a nice sort of elongated circle out of this.
Moving this chi ball is intense.
It is. And then reverse it. So start down here, bring it in, nice and close, flip it around, keep the backs of your hands facing each other. Nice pops. Oh yes, those are all good pops.
Yes.
Again, if you have therapy, you've got wrist surgery, elbow surgery, shoulder surgery, this is one of the best things you can possibly do to help recover and heal right here. This is one of the best things that I did to get my elbow moving, get my shoulder moving. I didn't have to have wrist surgery, but I've had, like I said, a couple on my elbow and I had one on my shoulder here, so I can assure you. All right, neck, now we're gonna do the neck.
I'm like pushing energy right now. It's so
take a moment,
big.
let's take a deep breath.
Yeah. I need to work with what's here.
Just relax, you're doing great, Shana. You're doing awesome. I know a lot of this is very new to you and you're doing great.
No, it's energy building really huge from the core.
All All right, nice and relaxed again. I like to keep the hands against my abdomen. Very gently roll the neck. And this is important when you roll the neck. When you do a circle like this, feel the tension as you go to the sides and to the front. When you go towards the back, do not go all the way back. You could damage your neck. Do not go all the way back. We'll do that in a moment with a different stretch. So as you get to this point, just go straight across, go to the side, go to the front, go to the side, just go straight across. Go to the side, go to the front, go to the side, and straight across. And of course, reverse that.
Radix is feeling this. This is.
He's all into it.
He is. So the neck right here at this spot is where migraines start, and the more we do this, the louder he gets. He's definitely reacting to this.
And then when we're ready, we're just going to look to our left and look to our right. So literally just look left. Look right. Okay, just if you're feeling it, go ahead and stay with it for a little longer if you want to. So just look left and look right. Look left, look right. And again, just don't overdo it. Be careful, this is your neck. Be careful.
I'm dizzy.
Take a moment then.
Okay.
We're almost there. Now we're going to look up and look down. Again, with the back of the neck, be careful, be gentle. We don't damage this. We want to make it sure it feels good. So just don't lean backwards in this case. Just do it from the neck only. Just move your head, keep the body still. Up and down. We're going to move a little side to side in the process. That's okay. Just be very gentle about it. Take it slow. This is definitely not a race. And all right, we're about to get to the very end. We're about to do the very last stretch. Right. So we're going to do the very last one. And again, if you notice what we've basically done, we started in the core with the hips. We worked our way down to the feet, brought our way back all the way up to the hips, up to our neck, to our heads, and now we're working our way back down to the core again. So the last exercise is going to be at the core. And this does come right out of yoga, if I'm not mistaken. It comes out of Tai Chi. So basically what we're going to do is this.
It's all warm right here.
You're going to do it. Basically, it's a trunk rotation. But what we're going to do is the front part of the hand, as you're turning side to side, what I want you to do is this. Take the front of your hand, you're going to tap right at the base of your rib cage, right here. The back hand's going to tap right over your kidneys. But again, the bottom of your rib cage here, your floating ribs back here, you're going to tap your kidneys. There's a lot of ways to do this where you can tap different parts of the body, but for right now, I just want to see this. Tap. Tap. It actually stimulates these energy centers. And as you get more advanced and doing this more and more, you can start doing this over different parts of the body, which we can get into down the road. But for right now, just do this. And the key is, what I want you to do is keep your legs, again, that nice bent stance we talked about, that horse stance. The hips stay forward. This is the way it works the best. You don't want the hips necessarily turning. You just want to be turning, keep the hips as still as you can. You want to feel the turn in your lower back, the sciatic area. And eventually, if you get comfortable, look behind you. Actually, kind of look behind you.
This feels really good.
And a perfect way to end this part of the routine, or part of the exercise.
And notice who's quiet when something feels good. Yes, you.
And the way I like to end it as well, I like to do something like this. It's typically, when you start a workout, especially if it's in something like Tai Chi, Qigong, oftentimes you're going to take the left foot and you're going to take the left foot out from the right. So when you kind of end the session, I think the expression is closing the gua, kind of closing that energy center up. You just opened it up, and we're going to close it up. So take the left foot, gather up all that energetic universe, that positive, beautiful, universal energy. Take a big breath. Bring them together. If you want to end in prayer hands, that's perfectly fine. But literally, this is how I start my martial arts classes. And then my students and I get to a nice workout. But if you do nothing else during your day, this is a fantastic exercise. If you do nothing else, your body will thank you if you actually can manage to discipline yourself. Go and learn the routines and take the time to learn to do them right. Your body will totally thank you. It will make a huge difference. As somebody who's been through massive injuries in my life, you know, I said 20 broken bones in the fall alone, had another dozen broken bones. I'm sitting literally at about 32 broken bones, never mind torn rotator cuff and all the other types of injuries that I've had over the years. It just makes a gigantic difference. All the difference in the world. It's one of the reasons I can still move and do the things that I do. So maybe we can end it right there. We got lots of movement work I'll do with you another time. Again, hopefully we'll make more videos to this effect. We won't necessarily do the whole stretch every time we do a video, but next time I'll show you some palm waving right out of Silat.
Yes.
One of the most beautiful things you can do. All right. Thank you so
Definitely
much.
next time. Thank you for joining us.
Get me on a roll. This is
Have a beautiful day. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.